Howdy, y'all. We're at Old Thrasher Days in Yuma, Colorado. I think this thing's, yeah, it's electric. It's super quiet. Look at the size of the rear end in that. He just came by and this thing was hauling. A lot of tractors here this year. You want to go to school? I come in these rooms every year I come here. It's like Little House on the Prairie. Let's see. I'd have probably been the one over in the corner because I did something bad. You guys probably wouldn't believe it, but I was actually kind of a class clown. Elfville, Christmas stuff. Church. Got to take the hat off. I got in trouble for that once. I love these churches. Looks like our living room. Farmhouse. A loom. The old kitchen. Icebox. Stove. Like the one I got. Mine's a little fancier than that. My icebox is fancier than that. This is kind of neat. I don't think I've ever been in this one, Jolene. Look at that. Every grandma's house has one of those. Oh yeah. Old Dutch potato chips. That's really neat. Back in the kitchen, here's the living room. And this is the license plate one, but that's in one of my older videos, so if you want to see that, check those out. Yep, Gibson. So these were made in Longmont, Colorado, at the show that we were at with Lefty and Whiskers. They were made in that same city. Look, it's even in the casting, Longmont, Colorado. Miss Jolene's going to go look at the horses and animals. That's her thing. I like these horses. The horses under a hood. Although, I think her horses behave a little better than mine lately. Massey Harris. Pony. 1949. Little John Deere. What's this one? An L. 1942 John Deere L. That's kind of cool. And here we have a bigger Minneapolis Moline. I think we should bring Lefty here sometime. This one's LP. Another mini mow. Got an International coming through. Ooh, a WD9. Same engine my TD6 had. Super WD9. Somebody's getting in trouble. I wouldn't mind having one of these guys. What do we got over here? Here's an H with duals. That's pretty cool. You don't see that very often. This has a small front end like our H. I love the old covered wagons. It makes me think about my family when they came here. And a thrashing machine, like the one that I had to get rid of. This one's a case. You know how I disappear around tractors. Miss LEOL disappears around animals.
Doing an obstacle course.
Oh. So I remember this Sunshine Combine from my video a year ago or a couple years ago. And that is a very neat combine. But there's one even older here. Right there, McCormick. It's more of a grain binder, I think, than a combine. Arr. John Deere R. Big 2-cylinder diesel. Look at the weights on that guy. That's so you can get traction on this hard, dry ground here in eastern Colorado. You know we're going down the line here. There's a lot more tractors this year. The sun is terrible for shadows, so we're going to go on the back side. F20. WD-45. A lot of Allises here. Little Cub. C. And more H's. A lot of H's. A lot of H's everywhere. They're such a utilitarian tractor. They were the right tractor at the right time. They're hooking up the belt for the sawmill. Belt for the threshing machine. Case. And of course, I'm headed towards the trucks. I like my trucks when I don't have to wire them. Yuma Wheat Farm. The later Chevy. Different demonstrations getting set up. We like to come early when it's cool. And it's a nice cool morning. Oh, look at this. 450. This one's got a loader on it. I always thought that these front ends were a little bit light for a loader. In fact, the wide front end we had on our 400, they had a form hand on it, and it got broke a few times. I broke it once. 1934 John Deere GP. Allis Chalmers D19. Look at that. High crop. Look how tall this is. The bottom of the tractor is about at my waist height. Turbocharged diesel. Another little Allis. Little drill on this Allis. H's are everywhere. They're really good tractors. I kind of wish we had this heavier front end on ours. But the front end we got now, man, it's nice for turning. Using a sickle mower, you can really get around with that thing. M. We're getting into more center pivot irrigated country here by Yuma, Colorado. And where I am, it's pretty much just dry land. Miss LAOL's making a beeline.
I want to see if they're mule or donkey.
What are they?
I can't see from here.
You're the expert?
I gotta look at their tails more. I think they're mules.
That's all right. I don't know one tractor from another either. We really need to find something we can run on a belt pulley, Jolene. This is the barbed wire collection and tool barn. Last year they had classic cars in here. They have a few, but this year they got a lot more wagons. Ooh, a hearse. Well, we are getting close to Halloween. That's a fancy one, I'd imagine, for its day. You'd have to be a statesman or something to get a ride in that. Not that it would matter at that point, right? Obstacle course. Draft horses. Quilt show. Number 19 is my favorite, hands down. We bought a raffle ticket, so maybe Miss LAOL will win a quilt. And we voted for our favorite one, Ford Ranger. This is by far one of my favorite areas. Look at all these waffle makers, Griswolds, Wagners. This is why there's none left to buy in Colorado. They're all here. I do love my cast iron. Big roast cast iron roasting pans. We need a cauldron, Jolene. What do you think?
I know, we do.
I would use it all the time. We're just skipping through town. Next door's the gas station. Thought I'd stop at the bank here. Hey, tell her. Still nothing. Gems and jellies. Blacksmith shop. Main Street's busy. Going to the general store. Where's Nels and Mrs. Olson? I think I need that to pull behind Carl. Look, Jolene.
What'd you find?
Look, we had those in Greenland. We're gonna go over here and buy a raffle ticket to support the show and get entered to win that Allis Chalmers tractor that I saw when I first came in. So that's Yuma Thrasher Days 2025. Do want to thank you for watching. We'll see you on the next one. I wonder if this guy knows that he's not even locked in here.